and welcome to our fourth session in this modifier section. And in this session, we are going to explore our next modifier, one of the most important one, which is the screw modifier. And to learn how to use it, we are going to model a bolt and a nut. So in bolt and nut, we need the threadings, and these threadings we are going to create it using the screw modifier. So to begin with, let us come into Blender, and in the Blender you have the default cube here. I will select this, press numpad 7, come into the front view, and then I will just press G and move it somewhere here. And in the move parameters that opens here, I will set this the value along all the three axes to 1. If I middle mouse click and turn and show it to you, you can see that one point of my cube is exactly at the center. So now I will press tab and come into the edit mode, and I am in the vertex selection mode. I am going to select this vertex which is exactly at my origin point here. So selecting this vertex, then I will press Ctrl I to select all other vertices, press X and choose delete vertices. So now I have one vertex which is exactly at the center. The origin point of this vertex is here. You are seeing the yellow dot here. So this is the origin point of this vertex, because this was a cube earlier. So now to shift it over here, I will just press tab and come into the object mode. I will come into the object menu, and you have one option here, set origin, and I am going to set this origin to geometry. So when I select origin to geometry, you can now see this origin point has shifted to the point where I have my vertex. Now I will press tab and come into the edit mode. Remember, you have to do this in edit mode. Then I will press A to select this vertex, press G, and along the X axis I am going to move it, and I am going to approximately move it along the X axis by around -1 unit. I am now going to press tab and come into the object mode, and for this one single vertex, I am going to come into the modifier, add modifier, generate, and I am going to select the screw modifier. So when I select the screw modifier, immediately by default the screw modifier is applied along the Z axis, and you can see this single vertex has got converted into a circle. And I can change its axis to Y. So when I change it to Y, see the axis changes. You have three axes here, X, you are not going to see anything because this is a 2D vertex. You have Y and Z. So you have two axes. So now if I press numpad 1 and come into the front view, in the Y axis you are seeing it from the front view, and in the Z axis you are seeing it from the top view. So now I will press numpad 7 and come into the top view, and as of now you have this on the Z axis, and the angle of rotation is 360 degree. Now if I change this angle, you can now see that how my vertex is going to take the shape as I change this angle. So now if it is 180 degree, it will be a semicircle, and if I make this equal to 360 degree, this will be a perfect circle. Now the next thing here is you have this circle with sharp edges like this. This is because right now this circle is having 16 vertices in viewport and 16 vertices in render port. So I am going to change this to 36 in viewport and 36 in render port. I will press tab and come into the edit mode, and with this vertex selected, I will press E, and along the Z axis I will move to the top like this. So now we are going to see this circle as a thin sheet. Now I will come here and I will move it along the Z axis by around 0.2 units. So I have created a 0.2 meters extrusion. Now one thing is, I want this to be like a thread, that is the threading that you see on a nut or a bolt. So for that I will come into this screw, and right now this is set to 0. We have actually added an extrusion of 0.2 meters here. So I will add the same value for the screw here, and I will move it by 0.2 meters. And now you can see that this is moving one round, and for the second round it is coming and sitting exactly over the top here. I want multiple iterations like this along the z-axis. So for that I will come into the iteration, and if I make it 2, you can see 2 copies of this. If I make it 3, you can see 3 copies of this. If I make it 4, you can see 4 copies of this. And right now I will set this value to something around 30, and you are now seeing the body of my screw like. But the problem is this threading is flat. So in a screw you should have the projection, circular projection, and to create this I will now press numpad 1 and come into the front view. I will move down. I am in the edit mode. I will press A to select both these vertices. Right now I just have 2 vertices. So if required I will enable statistics. So right now you have just 2 vertices in your model. So now I will select this. I am going to right click here and I am going to subdivide this, and the number of cuts I am going to add is 2, 3. I will add 5 cuts here, and now I am now going to select the center vertices here, and after this I am now going to come into this proportional editing. I will enable this, and in the list I am going to choose this sphere, and I will just press G, and when I move this I will roll the mouse back or forward, and I will reduce this influence area like this, and I am going to slightly pull this up like this. So as I pull this, you can see that I will pull it along the x-axis. You can see a circular shape is emerging. So I will pull it out approximately by around minus 0.06 units, and now you can see that this appears like a thread now. I will press tab and come into the object mode, and once I am happy with this thread, then I am going to come over here and I am going to call this as bolt with screw. I am going to select this, press shift D, and I am going to duplicate it, right click and place it at the same position, and now here I am now going to call this as bolt and press enter. Now I will switch off this bolt with screw temporarily. So right now we are now going to work with this bolt, and now I want to create the nut shape for this, and to create this nut shape I am going to select this, come into my modifier, and I have the screw modifier here. I will come here and choose apply to apply this modifier. So I have now successfully added this modifier. If I press tab now this has around 1081 vertices. I am going to come at the bottom area of this threading. So here you have the threading at the bottom. I will come here. If required, I will come into the wireframe mode and I will switch off the X-ray mode temporarily. And now here I am now going to select the vertices here. All the vertices over the edge here. So the final edge that you are seeing here, I will select all the vertices here. So I have around 7 vertices here. So I will select all these 7 vertices, and then I am now going to press numpad 1 and come into the front view, and then I am going to press scale, and along the x-axis I am going to press 0, and now press enter. So now what has happened is this has flattened out like this. Actually I have to now create the nut bottom portion. So for that I will start selecting this from this point here. Then with control I will click till here. With control I will then rotate here with middle mouse and click till here. Then with control pressed I will rotate this and click till here. So I will select all the vertices at the bottom, leaving just these 4 vertices here. So with all these vertices selected, I will press numpad 1, come into the front view, I will press E and I am going to extrude it, press Z, and along the Z axis I will pull it down like this, and then I will press SZ0 to make it straight. Now I will press Z and come into solid state view, And now you can see that I have got this structure. Here I will select this edge on the left hand side here. I am going to right click here and choose subdivide, and I am going to subdivide it some, say for example some 5 times. Then I will come into the vertex selection mode, and I am going to now select these vertices 1, 2, 3 and 4 vertices. Press F to fill it. Then I will select this vertex, this and this, and press F to fill it. Then I will select this with shift press this and press F to fill it. Then I will next select this vertex, this and I will press F to fill it. Similarly this and this, and finally here this one, and I will press F to fill it. And finally here I need one more vertex to connect it here, so I will select the last point here, this one. I am going to subdivide it again and selecting this vertex here and here. I am going to press F and fill it, and then finally I will select this and this, and I am going to press F and going to fill it. So now I got a structure like this. So to see it better, I will right click and enable shade auto smooth. So I will also come in add modifier generate, and I will add subdivision surface, and I will add 2 levels of subdivision surface to this. I will press tab, I will alt click and select this entire loop here. Then I will press ES and I will slightly scale it down like this. Then I will press ES again, then ES again, and then press F to fill it. Press tab, press Ctrl or add a loop here, and I will just pull it out like this, and I am going to create a sharp edge over here. So now coming to the top edge, now in this case what happens is, this is a circle, but what we are creating is a nut. Nut has a hexagonal head, whereas this is a circular head. So now I have to convert this circular head into a hexagonal head, and I will select the vertices here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again now I will press numpad 1, and now I will press SX0 and I will make it straight, and I will disable this proportional editing. Press GX and I will move it back and align it with this point here. Okay, so now I got this flattened here. I will come here and temporarily switch off this subdivision surface. I am again going to select this vertex. With Control pressed, I will select till here. Then with Control pressed, I will select till I have to come to the topmost vertex till here. Then I will just turn around and I will press Control plus and select till here. So I am going to select these points. I will also select this also. Then I will press numpad 1 and then I will press EZ and I will pull it up like this. I will extrude it like this a little. I am going to add an extrusion like this. Then I will press SZ0 to flatten this surface. Again I am now going to select this edge here, right click, and I am going to subdivide it 6 times. And then in vertex selection mode now I am going to select the vertices. Now I will select 1, 2, 3 and 4 vertices here and press F to fill it. Now similarly I will select 1, 2, 3 and 4 and I will press F to fill it. I will press G and move it along the Z axis and make it straight like this. This also I will select, press GZ and I will move it down like this. So similarly I will select this vertex GZ and I will move it down like this. Press this and press F to fill it. Now similarly I will select this edge, press GZ and move it down, and then I will select this and this vertex and press F to fill it. I will select this vertex, press GZ and move it down like this, and then select this and press F to fill it. And finally I have one vertex here. I press G, Z and I will move it down here. I will select this and press F to fill it. And finally I will select this and I will press F to fill it. So now, if I enable subdivision surface and see it, so this surface appears to be fine. So I will alt click and select all these vertices. I will press E, Z and I will extrude it like this, and I will slightly scale it down a little by around 0.9. I will scale it down. So to convert this into hexagonal, we have 36 pieces and we want a 6-sided hexagon. So I have 36 vertices and I need 6 faces, means I have to combine 6 vertices together to create one edge. I will select 5 vertices here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I will select these 5 vertices, press X and I am going to delete these vertices, and then I am going to select this vertex and this vertex, and I am going to press F and I am going to connect it. I am going to right click and choose subdivide, and I am going to subdivide it with, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then with vertex selection I will, and similarly now next here I am going to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. I am then going to press X and going to delete these vertices here, this one here and this one here, and I will press F to connect it. Then I will right click and subdivide it 5 times to add 5 vertices in between. So same thing I will do here. I will select 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 vertices, press X and delete these vertices, connect these two, press F, then right click, subdivide it by 5 times. Now same thing here, again I will select 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 vertices, press X to delete it, then connect this vertex and this vertex here, press F and connect it, and right click and subdivide this exactly by 5 values. And similarly even here I will select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. I will press X and I will delete these vertices. Then I will connect this vertices with this vertices, press F, then I will right click it and I am going to subdivide it with 5 vertices. And same thing I am going to do here. I will select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices, press X and delete it. Then I will select this end and this end, press F to connect it, right click, subdivide, and I am going to subdivide it by 5 times. I will select this vertex here with control, I will click till here. Then with shift I will select this vertex, with control shift I will click till here. And now with all these vertices collected, I will come to edge and choose bridge edge loops. I will select the 4 faces here and I am going to press F to fill it, and similarly 4 faces here and I am going to press F to fill it. So right now I will switch off this subdivision surface so that I can get a precise look of this. So then I will repeat the same. So from here with control press till here I will select it, with shift I will select this, and with shift control I will select it till here, and then I am going to come into edge and bridge edge loops, and then finally I will select these edges here, 4 edges, and press F and fill it. And similarly here I will select these 4 edges and I am going to press F and fill this. So similarly here also I will select from here to here, then with shift pressed I will select this, and control shift I will select till here, come to edge bridge edge loops, and then select 1, 2, 3, 4, press F to fill it. Then similarly here also I will select this and this, press F to fill it. And finally here also, now here also I will come here and I will start selecting from here, control click till here, then shift select this, shift control and select till this edge, bridge edge loops, and then I will select these 4 here and press F to fill it, and I will select these 4 here and I will press F to fill it. And finally we have 2 more to do it. Select here, control click here, with shift you select till here, shift control till here, come here and choose edge, bridge edge loops, then I will select these 4 here and press F, then I will select these 4 here and I am going to press F, and finally here I will select here and I am going to control click till here, shift click here and shift control and click till here, come to edge, bridge edge loops, then I will select these 4 points here and I will press F, and I will select these 4 points here and I will press F. So finally now I am going to come into this edge selection mode. I will select this entire edge here, then I will press S and I am going to scale it out a little like this, then I will press EZ and I will move it up like this. Then I have to now fill this, so I will press ES and move it in like this, ES again and I will move it in like this, ES and move it in like this, again ES, I create a small dot at the center and press F to fill it. So now you can see that I have a nut shape like this. So I will press 1 and come into the front view. Now I will come into wireframe, enable this toggle X-ray so that all the vertices are selected. So I will select all the vertices on the top, see that all the vertices are selected. I will press numpad 1 and then I will press SZ and I will scale it up along the Z like this. I will press GZ and move it to the top like this, and I will press S and scale it out a little like this, then GZ and move it to the top. And now if I press Z, come into solid state view, and if you see this, now we have our nut ready. Come into the materials and I am going to give this material the name as something like steel, and in the base color I will slightly make it darker, a little darker like this, and then I will come into metallic and I will make it 100% metallic. I will come into texture view here and I will reduce the roughness like this, and so now we have our nut ready. Now I am not very happy with the profile that has been created here. However, to make any changes here, we have already applied this modifier, and if I press tab and if I see it, it's very difficult to edit this. So what I will do is I will press numpad 1 and come into the front view. I will come into the wireframe. I will see that this toggle X-ray is on, and I am going to select all the vertices here in this threading part like this. So I will select all these vertices here. I will press X and I am going to delete all the vertices. So this I have deleted from this bolt. Now previously, before we started, this is the reason we take the backup. So I will just press tab and come into object mode and I will switch off this bolt, and if we had created one bolt with screw, and if I enable this, and in this if you come into the modifier, we still have this screw modifier. So now I will select this, press shift D and I will make one more copy of it, and I will again switch off this original and I am going to call this as bolt 2. So here when I am in the edit mode and if I move here, if I press A, I can see this curvature here. Now I will press Z and come into solid mode, and in this mode now I will actually come into this vertex selection mode. I will enable this proportional editing and I will select this center vertex here, and instead of moving it outside, I will press GX and I will move it inside like this, and I will slightly reduce this diameter like this, and okay, so I will move it somewhere here. If required, I will press shift and I will scale it and adjust this, so that I need a profile like this. Okay, and now if I press tab and if I have a look at it, this is the profile I actually needed. Now I have created this new profile. I will press numpad 1, and here I am now going to come here and apply this screw. I will now enable my old bolt, which is named as bolt. I will select this, and with shift I will select bolt 2 also, and bolt is the active object. I will come into object and I will choose join, or I will press Ctrl J. So now both have come into the same object, and if I press tab, now I have this vertices, and only thing is now I have to recreate these links. So for this, again I will zoom in here, and I am going to select these vertices at the edge here. So I am going to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 vertices here, and then I will press SX0 and I will scale it up like this, so that I have a flat surface like this, and then I will again select this part, and with Control plus I will click till here, then with Control pressed I will click till here, with Control pressed I am going to click till here, and then I will press numpad 1, and now I am going to press EZ and I am going to extrude it like this. I will create a extrusion, and then I will press SZ0 to flatten it and make it straight like this. Then I am going to come over here. Now I will start selecting from here. With Control I click till here, select all the vertices in this line, then shift click here, shift click here and press F to fill it. Then I am going to select this edge with alt click, with shift alt I am going to select this edge. So selecting both these edges, now I will come into the edge and I am going to choose bridge edge loops. So now I got this top portion connected over here. Similarly, I will come down here and I will press tab, and even in this case I will come here and I will select vertices starting from here. I will select vertices starting from here. Then I will press Control this one, this one, this one, this one, this one and this one, and then again press SX0 to make it flat. See, I have made it flat, and then I will start my selection from this point. With Control click I will select till here, with Control click I will select till here, then with Control click I will select till this point. Then I will switch off this proportional editing, and then I will press EZ and I will move it down like this. Then I will press SZ0 to scale it. I will select the vertex here, here, then I will slightly turn this, bring it over here, and I am going to select these vertices, all the vertices on the side here like this, and then I am also going to select this vertex, press F to fill this, and finally I will alt click and select entire edge at the bottom like this, then shift alt and select this edge, and I am again going to go to edge bridge edge loops, and now I have got the bottom structure also connected. I will press tab now, and then I am now going to enable this subdivision surface, and here we have too much of this softness happening here. So I will press tab, I will press Ctrl R and I will add one loop cut to the top here, Ctrl R and I will add one loop cut to the bottom here, Ctrl R and I will add one more loop cut to here, and then Ctrl R and I will add one more loop cut here, Ctrl R and one loop cut over here. So now you can see that this structure is appearing fine. So now I have already added the texture. So if I come into the texture view, so this appears better. So like this if we have the profile ready, we can change this profile anytime and we can then link it to one another as we have done just now. So finally now I will come to File, Save As, and in the 4 modifier folder I am going to name it as 4_for nut using screw modifier.blend, and I am going to save this file. The next challenge that I want you to do is, just like we have created the nut, I want you to create a bolt that comes and fits inside this, and this I want you to try it on yourself, and giving this as a project, I am going to conclude this session, and let us meet in the next session to see how this bolt can be created and also to work on the other modifiers like solidify and skin modifiers.